So I kind of looked at myself and went, I'm not capable of doing that right now. And I had to make changes. So hence why I was like, I need to get in the gym. I need to lift weights. I need to get the strength that I had when I was younger back at the bare minimum. I've 2x that now for sure, as far as overall strength's concerned. Then just maintain my cardiovascular, which was already in a somewhat decent spot in that process. So that was the main goal initially for bulking up, and now it's kind of a change in pace of, okay, I'm at a good spot. I want to be at a better spot for, when I become a dad, so that I'm able to do dad things, right? Carry my kid around, carry, car seats.
Welcome to Fit That Hustle. I'm your host, Mahmoud Asper. Today we're diving into a story of it that embodies transformation. My guest Calen is not only a startup founder and entrepreneur, but also preparing for one of life's biggest challenges, becoming a dad. In this episode, we'll explore how Calen's professional hustle has shaped his approach to health and fitness, and how he's preparing mentally and physically for fatherhood. If you've ever felt torn between your career ambitions and family life, this episode is for you. How does a startup founder working long hours and leading teams manage to stay healthy while preparing for the responsibility of fatherhood? Let's find out from Calen himself. Taking care of your health is non-negotiable, especially as a dad on the go. That's why I trust BioSteel for clean hydration without a sugar crash. Use code MNYY1417 at checkout for up to 25% off. Let's prioritize health so we can be there for the ones we love. Calen, welcome to Fit That Hustle. You've led such a dynamic career as a startup founder. What inspired you to enter the startup world, and how has it impacted your lifestyle?
Yeah, first of all, thanks, Mohammed, for having me on. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I got inspired to kind of just be my own boss from a young age. My grandfather, who is no longer with us, unfortunately, was a owner at one point in his life, not for my majority of my life, but prior to that, he was the owner of his own painting business. And I saw kind of just the lessons he learned from that, and how that grew him into a person who I, modeled myself after as a role model. And I also saw some of the freedom that came with it, and was totally fine with some of the responsibilities when I asked him questions and things like that of, what is it like to own your company and things like that. He's like, well, you have all these responsibilities, because it's not just, when you get your company to a certain size, it's not just your life. It's, you have the life of however many employees you have on the line when you make a decision. With my company size now, mostly working with contractors, but still leading them, from my standpoint, as far as through my clients' needs and things like that, editing videos mainly and things like that, as I run a video agency. But, for me, it was freedom that comes with that, both eventually financial and, schedule wise and things like that. That was the big attraction to one day be my own boss. So that's mainly the reason why I dove down this endeavor. Was the end payoff, while getting there might suck, the end payoff is far greater than ever, being underneath somebody else's business and their leadership.
I totally agree. And I'm glad they actually had someone that you had to look up to lead you to that as well, which is great to have. That's a big plus. Building a company takes long hours and intense focus. How did you initially balance your professional life with your personal health?
Yeah, so initially it was pretty bad, I'll admit. Going into college, kind of just stopped with my health and fitness. I played club lacrosse and was like, that's good enough. And didn't really care so much after I let that go later on in my college years, my junior and senior year of college. And then as I got out of that, kind of realized how it had affected my health, just not working out at all for 4 or 5 years on end, and wanted to change that in 2019. So I did. I got into Orange Theory and HIIT workouts and things like that, because at that point I needed somebody to motivate me to move. And then fast forward to around about a little over a year and a half ago, getting back into weightlifting, and really just being tired of being stuck at a certain weight of 180 pounds and wanting to get to, a larger weight. I'm a 6'2" guy, so 180 pounds you look kind of small, and I wanted to stop looking small. I'd been the small guy my whole life, and I was tired of it. So I progressed and bulked up to 200. Last February, I hit that goal, and have hovered around that weight since. So, now I'm progressing to larger and bigger goals, and it was awful at first, but now I kind of feel the best that I've ever felt since high school when I was a 3-sport athlete, and I feel I'm the most fit that I've been in my adult life. So it became a hyper focus essentially for me in 2024 and late 2023 to really just change things up and get better.
Okay, so you touched on a little bit of the fitness and lifting weights. So let's go a little bit into the fitness and nutrition here. Key area, which is our key areas for busy dads. What's your go-to workout routine, and how do you make time for fitness amidst your hectic schedule?
Yeah, so it comes down to making it a priority. When I was first getting into the weightlifting, it was, okay, where do I have time in my schedule? What's going to make the most sense? And how do I prioritize that time? And ultimately, it led to me creating a morning routine for myself where I've never been a morning person in my entire life. You could call my mom and she'd tell you, absolutely not. He will not move before 6 a.m., 7 a.m. If you're lucky, he'll be a human by like 9 o'clock. And, it was changing that mentality because I had the free time in the morning and I wanted to have the evenings to be family time or available time to go have a drink with friends and things like that. And I made that a priority to get up. Just get up every day, go through a routine, develop a routine, and then, the gym was a part of that. So it became, 6 a.m. gym sessions, 6 to 7, 7:15, whatever the time is needed to get the workout done, was the priority. And that's a lot of things in life. You want to get it done, you want to make change, you have to make that a priority. If my business has to take the priority, it has to take the priority, during the day, etc. As far as a go-to workout routine, I think a lot of people would concur with me in this and saying it's an upper body day. Particularly my arms workout, I think is my favorite workout I've got on the docket right now, consisting of, bench press, hammer curls, preacher curls, tricep kickbacks. What's the other tricep movement we've got going on there? There's a couple other different little arm movements in that for the day. I'm not remembering off the top of my head, but yeah, that's probably my favorite workout right now. It's the one that I leave feeling I got the best out of myself and just feel like I've made progress, if you will.
Yeah, so it's great that you mentioned that because how you changed your routine also in your in your day. Like for example, waking up early and you're, like you said, you're a human by like 9 o'clock, so it becomes like a habit as well. Like I remember back in college, I was never awake at that early. Like if my friends woke me up, they're like, don't call Mohammed before 12 p.m. Okay, he'll be up afternoon. And because we stay up late, we're having fun, and it was college, and it wasn't our morning time. But now it's totally different, so. Yeah, it like you said, the party comes whether it's the business or your life, your family, whatever, and then it just becomes a habit, and then eventually that routine changes.
Yeah. It's there's a good book out there. I'll just plug this real quick. There's a good book out there called Atomic Habits, and it's been recommended to me several times. I've kind of done the spark notes on it. It's on my list of to reads in 2025, but I've never been someone who had trouble creating habits, so I didn't put it at the top of my list. But for those folks out there that do struggle at creating a habit, I recommend that book because I have friends and people in my sphere of influence who've read it, and it's revolutionized how they think about their day-to-day activities. It's those little things like just waking up early. Before you even start working out in the morning, if you're thinking about working out in the morning, that's when you have your time. Just start waking up early. Don't even go to the gym. Just get up early. Just start doing that. Fill the time with other things. Maybe you shift your work schedule. You bump up your work schedule at first. So instead of starting at 8 or 9, you start at 7 or 8. If it, bump it up an hour. Start waking up an hour earlier. And then when you get in that habit, introduce the gym. Okay, now I'm getting a new habit in. Okay, that hour, I start work at the normal time, but I have an hour in the gym now. And when you do that, it just kind of stacks on top of itself. And the book goes way more granular with tiny little things even. That's why it's called Atomic Habits. It's the little things that you do that eventually lead to, dramatic change in your life and day-to-day just existence.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I've read the book. It's a great book. I reference it from time to go in my social media and all that. Yeah, it's definitely one of number one books that anybody should read in order to get their life into a better habit or better lifestyle that they would like. If they don't like what they're doing right now, most definitely, I totally agree with that. Now, nutrition is a big part in staying energized. Do you follow a specific diet or meal prep strategy?
So not at this point. I'm 28, so my body keeps up pretty good with and metabolizes, really, really well still. And I don't follow like a specific dietary plan. My main goals every day are to eat my calorie count first and foremost, so that my body has enough energy to burn. And then secondarily hit my protein macro on top of that. For me, mainly it's the calorie intake. I've never been someone who like stress eats or anything like that. I do the exact opposite. I stress starve. So when I'm really, really busy with work, it's kind of like I have to remind myself, like, you need to go get a snack. You need to have something that you're consuming on a regular basis to hit my, 3,200, 3,500 calorie count for bulking up and growing, right? So it's kind of just setting that mental reminder of, hey, you need, it's 2:00, go get yogurt and granola and eat that. And not that I don't pay attention to what I'm putting in my body. I don't necessarily worry about consuming too many fats, but I'm not out there, adversely avoiding them, actively avoiding them, I should say. It's kind of one of those things that just make sure I hit the calorie count, hit the protein count, and, take the supplements that I take, which, right now I'm taking creatine monohydrate, BCAAs for recovery and electrolytes and things like that. Since I'm in the gym 5 days, 6 days a week, recovery is really important. So yeah, mainly the focus is on calorie count, protein macro, and making sure the body recovers in that, 12-hour, 24-hour stretch that it's got to do so before I'm back at it again in the morning.
I'm glad to hear that, you're using creatine as well. There's a lot of good benefits when it comes to creatine, especially mixing it with like a protein shake or something, whatever. And it's very, very good for you, especially when you're doing heavy lifting as well. So
yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. No, so creatine, just to plug that supplement, when I was bulking the first go around, I got plateaued at like 190, right? And the goal was 200. And I was just plateaued for like 2-3 months. It's like, man, what's going to make a difference? And I'd never taken creatine before. So I was like, I'll just try it out. I heard a lot of great things. I had friends who'd used it. It's like, all right, I'll give it a try. And that was the supplement that pushed me to get to 200. It's such a game changer. And they actually, Mohammed, make flavored creatines now, so you don't have to mix it in everything all the time, because that's a supplement that you have to take pretty much every day, even when you're not going to the gym, right? So I was mixing it with like electrolytes on the weekends, and it would make the electrolytes just taste terrible. So having flavored options now, you just take it as is, and it's not as big of a deal. But that made a huge difference in my workouts.
Yeah, when I started in college, I was very bulky, like huge bicep, big chest, everything, and I took creatine at the start as well. So that's why I said mix it with protein. Like that's how I did it, back in 2000 when I was in college. Yeah, but I don't do it as much. I don't take creatine anymore. It's something that I do want to get back into, but it's not something that I feel that I need it at the moment. But yeah, it's like you said, it is a game changer, and it could be a great start for anybody who wants to get into the lifting weights and all that. Now, let's shift a little bit and maintaining, when we're talking about mental health, which is crucial for everyone. How do you use fitness to keep your mind sharp, especially while managing multiple roles in your life?
Yeah, so I had a mentor who helped me with this a long time ago, and it was very beneficial advice, which was kind of be where you're at, right? So when I'm in the gym, right? If I get a distraction, or a text from like a client, or a client call at 6 a.m. First of all, I don't know why they'd be calling me that early in the morning. They shouldn't be. I might, if someone calls me, I might pick up and make sure it's not an emergency, but odds are there's nothing going on. It's like a text or an email or something. It can wait till I start my day. Be where I'm at is basically what I'm getting at. So if I'm in the gym, I'm in the gym. I'm focused on my workout. I'm focused on maximizing, getting the most out of it. And then when I'm done with the workout, okay, client intrusions, my day starts. I come home, I get ready for that and start my day. Essentially, that's where I allow that to happen. But the morning routine that's me. That's my time. That's me. I don't let friends really disrupt it. I don't let anything disrupt it, because that's my time. And that's revolutionized my mental health, because I know that I have time to, process, do what I need to do, and be focused on what I'm doing in the moment. And that translates into the workday too. If I'm focused on editing a video for a client, I'm focused on that. I'm trying to not have any other distractions. There are times where distractions are okay, but I really try to limit those. And that keeps the stress level down, that keeps the focus high. And, it's kind of like segmenting your schedule, segmenting your life. Like, you have work in personal time, right? Like in the evenings, whatever that may be, family time from 7 to 9 before we go to bed, right? Prioritize that. Or maybe it's dinner time until bed, whatever the case may be. Now, for me, sometimes I got to do what I got to do. So realistically, it's a break for dinner around like 6 o'clock. And then sometimes I got to get back at it. And, mentally, I know that I will work until 8 o'clock. Once 8 o'clock hits, I want an hour at the end of my day, at the very least, to decompress, plan the next day, do what I need to do to be at my best. And implementing those things into my life and my schedule has just changed mentality and brought stress levels down tremendously.
Hopefully. It's basically, you're in the zone of doing this, doing that, be it family time, whether it's work, whether it's your fitness, that's great that you follow that. That does really help. Now, with fatherhood right around the corner, and I'm curious to hear how you're preparing, what's been the biggest mindset shift as you get ready to become a dad?
Man, this is a tough question, because it's still fresh. It's still a new thing to me, almost. But we're getting to the point where, like, second trimester's coming up, and it's like, okay, that's like, okay, we're getting serious now. We need to start thinking about this, both me and my wife. So, it's kind of just figuring out what we need to do for baby, right? I'm not going to be in this office anymore. We're moving rooms. This is going to be the nursery. I'm going to be sharing. My office is going to be shared with the guest bedroom now, so going to be cramped in there. But, it's kind of initially those planning things are like, what are things we need, that sort of stuff. Mentality-wise, I'm ready. Like I was, ready when we started down this venture, planning for this to happen. And just being the best version of myself that I possibly can be for my child for the foreseeable future. As far as things that change after that, that's a wild card, man. Who knows? But as long as I know I'm putting out the best version of myself that I possibly can, and continuing to grow and change as life throws changes and growth struggles at me, I think I'll be all right. It's just, be the best I can be, and the rest will work itself out.
Definitely. That's a great mindset to have. Now, have you set any fitness or health goals to ensure that you're at your best while you're growing your family?
Yeah, I have. So, like I had mentioned previously, I bulked up to 200, which was a huge milestone for me. Now I decided I was going to bulk up to 215 just to put on a bit more extra strength, put on a bit more muscle, just to continue to be as strong as I can be, to get there, and or to be the best dad I can be. The reason behind even getting to 200 was my dad is 61 now, and he is an avid hunter, and he's always wanted to go on an elk hunting trip with his boys, with me and my brother. So I was able to, financially swing in 2024, going out with him in October to do that. And, you have to book that in advance. So I booked it and kind of looked at my body and went, I'm going to be up at about 10,000 feet. I'm going to have to walk around with like a 40-pound bag on my back. And I'm going to have to, if we get one, carry, the kill or manipulate that and do what I have to do there. And that's a big animal. That's a lot of meat, right? And, carrying 80 pounds for anyone that hasn't done it at 10,000 feet, 9,000 feet, is not easy if you are not fit and have good cardiovascular health or the strength to do it, to put that up onto your back and go. So I kind of looked at myself and went, I'm not capable of doing that right now. And I had to make changes. So hence why I was like, I need to get in the gym. I need to lift weights. I need to get the strength that I had when I was younger back at the bare minimum. I've 2x that now for sure, as far as overall strength's concerned. Then just maintain my cardiovascular, which was already in a somewhat decent spot in that process. So that was the main goal initially for bulking up, and now it's kind of a change in pace of, okay, I'm at a good spot. I want to be at a better spot for, when I become a dad, so that I'm able to do dad things, right? Carry my kid around, carry, car seats, put them up on my shoulders when they get bigger, all that stuff, and just be able to have fun and be overall healthy and in their lives actively.
That's great. That's cool. I can relate to that. Like when I had my first child, I went into, like me and my wife, before getting the first child, went into like fitness, the HIIT, all different types of fitness. And when I gained that strength and I was able to carry my child, and I was able to, I like strength that I didn't have before. And so that's great that you're preparing yourself for that. Now, what advice do you have to give to dads to be want to stay healthy and fit while managing demanding career?
Yeah, so this is going to be kind of different for everybody, but the most simple thing I can say is you have to make it a priority. Circling back to that, you have to find a way to work it into your schedule. You have to make it a priority. You're going to have to likely sacrifice something, especially if you're someone who is working a lot of hours and, essentially grinding to make it, right? Like I was. So when I was working my W-2 job, in 2022, before I officially quit and moved into my business full time, I was grinding and working for somebody else to the tune of like 60 to the 1 week I put in 80 hours. And that's not unheard of. That's pretty common. But, fitness was kind of a back seat. I was going to the gym a couple times a week, but nothing more, not enough to make huge changes. And that's where this comes in, is it has to be a priority. You have to put a stop point in the day and say, this is where fitness occurs. And, for people who work for themselves, we're a bit more flexible. That can be 10 a.m. if I want it to be every day. That could be 3 p.m. for me if I wanted it to be. I might not be able to take client meetings during that time, but so what? I can work an extra hour, 5 to 6 or something like that, and still get in my time and get everything I need to accomplish accomplished. Somebody with a more rigid schedule, my advice is look at that time before work. Look at that time of potentially getting up earlier to make that priority. If you can't find that time earlier, look later. Can you sacrifice something in your evening to go to the gym, right? But that's the simplicity of it. And don't overcomplicate it. Make it as simple as possible. Just say to yourself, this is a priority. This is something that I need to change for my benefit so that I can perform better even in your job and in your life overall. And you'll see that benefit if you do prioritize your health and make changes to grow, essentially. So yeah, that's my advice. Make it a priority.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree. And it's okay, even like at one time, like for example, if you If you make a priority as waking up early in the morning and then later on your time changes, and then if you have to do it at night, it's still okay. Like as long as you're just putting in that time, that's what matters.
It doesn't matter where it is, or even if you miss one. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. A lot of people will feel guilty. Oh, well, I didn't do it. No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Just get back to it. It's fine. Like, oh, I gained. Or you can burn it off. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Yep, definitely. Calen, you've built an incredible career as a startup founder, and I know you're passionate about helping others succeed in this space. Can you tell us more about what your company does and how it helps entrepreneurs?
Yeah. So I've kind of alluded to it, but I run a video agency called Ruby Media LLC. We're based out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, in the United States. And what we do is we strategize video content for companies and help people with podcasts such as this, et cetera, et cetera. So that's pretty much in a nutshell what we do. I sit down with people, have conversations about their business, hear what problems they have, and come up with video content solutions that can help them to resolve those issues and grow.
Where can listeners go to learn more about your company and connect with you?
Yeah, so we have a website, rubymedia.tv, so you can check that out and connect with us. You can fill out the contact form and connect with me there. It comes directly to me. I'm also on LinkedIn. We also have a business profile on LinkedIn, and we also have Facebook, Instagram as well that are active. So yeah, you can reach out to Ruby Media on any of those channels as well.
Thank you for sharing that, Calen. I'll make sure to include those details in the show notes so listeners can easily find you. You've achieved so much already, and it's clear you're intentional about being the best version of yourself. Let's reflect a bit. Looking back, what's one thing you wish you'd started doing sooner when it comes to your health?
Yeah, I wish I would have gotten in the weight room sooner and not lapsed during my years in college. Just kept going and learning more about fitness and not stopping that momentum that I had already built that I just didn't know I'd built. Stopping that in the first place really led to just wanting to remain stagnant, and it took more effort to get back into it than it would have just to keep going, right? So yeah, I think looking back as far as fitness and health is concerned, that was the biggest, most critical mistake that was made, was stopping in the first place.
How do you see fitness and fatherhood influencing your life for the next few years?
Well, a newborn is going to change the schedule around quite a bit. That's going to lead to a lot of tired days. So the morning 6 a.m. gym session, it may have to change to a when I can get to it gym session, and with my wife, making sure that baby's taken care of. Instead, we're not going to the gym at the same time, things like that. So it's going to change that dramatically. I don't know what other changes it's going to bring, but definitely the schedule is going to be the main one. I'm sure there's going to be others on top of that I'm not thinking of.
Well, you will see that happen. Get all hands on the baby, and hopefully, there will be a healthy baby. Your wife will be healthy, and your whole family will be in good health and growing together, and building great habits together as well, If Calen can build a company, prepare for fatherhood, and stay fit, so can you. This episode is a reminder that small intentional steps in your health journey can lead to big transformation. Need help to getting started? Book a call with me today, and I'll help you create a plan tailored to your busy lifestyle. Remember, true success is about balancing your hustle with your health. Let's make it happen. Thank you, Calen, for sharing your incredible journey with us. I hope every dad listening feels inspired to prioritize their health. Before you wrap up, I want to remind you that Calen's company helps entrepreneurs succeed in their startup world. If you're interested in learning more, visit rubymedia.tv or check it out in the show notes for the link. And thanks to BioSteel for powering this podcast. Staying hydrated, energized, especially for busy dads. Use code MNYY1417 for 25% off your next order. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this episode with a dad who might need to hear this message. Till next time, stay strong, stay connected, and keep hustling.